Welcome back. Welcome back. You know, how appropriate. Today we talk about do you value your time? Yes, I do. And today I happen to have to be two places at one time right now. And I value this time more.
Whatever.
Hi, Robert. Thanks for being here, Bob. We appreciate you. Oh, I love your picture there. So, Cheryl, how are you today?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good. I want to thank you for this time every Wednesday. I'm blessed to spend a half an hour before the show, usually with her. We don't talk nothing about the show. We just talk about life and stuff like that. So we get on here and like, what are we talking about? Okay, let's get in mode because we've learned that if we talk about our topic beforehand, we're missing some good shit behind the scenes.
Plus, then you have to say, well, we talked about it. I like this. I like this particular program more than a lot that others I do because it's not scripted. It's what it comes off the hip, and sometimes after the show, I wish my mouth hadn't opened quite as fast. But like you say, it's time. It's 10 to 15 minutes of just whatever we want to talk about. And I'd like to only figure out how many times we've never stuck to the topic or have we ever stuck to the topic. Don't
but
care.
but that's the thing. That's the beauty of what we do here is that we sprinkle some wisdom out there, tell some stories, and have a great time. Next thing you know, our time is over.
And I like to give the audience a little bit of time if they're out there on the live. Maybe they've got a question. Maybe it's something we can help with. It's whatever. So
That's right. That's
that's
right.
where our name came from.
Right.
Whatever.
And it's hard to believe until this summer, it'll be like 2 years since I actually been there with you to hug you and hang out with you. So I do value my time and I cherish this time every Wednesday with you.
Well, it's something. I mean, I've got some travel coming up in 6 weeks, and I'm going to miss a couple of these over the month. And yeah, do I miss it? Yeah, I do. Maybe if I can, let me rephrase that. If I can get internet service, maybe we can still do them. You just never know.
That's
But
right.
yeah, it's kind of like, do you value time? I do. I value this time. The thing about it is, we all tend to do things that we really don't need to do. We're busy being busy. And so you're not valuing your time. In my opinion, you value your time when you're doing what needs to be done and getting it done.
There's our beautiful friend, Debbie. We
Hey,
love you,
Dave.
Debbie. Talk about busy. I'm producing her show tonight, and then she's on a plane out from East Coast to West Coast. So she's got a busy, busy schedule and she values her time. And I was blessed to spend time with her in November. And I mean, it was just like spending time with her online. And that's what I mean. It's so nice when you get with people that you value each other's time and it's important to keep those connections.
So many people lose it. I mean, it's all business to some people. I mean, business is important to me, don't get me wrong. But if I can marry the two together, that's the best case scenario. But if I can't, you've got to have breaks.
Yeah. And why does it take for us to get older? We do get wiser and more mature. But why does it take, fleeing and looking at the calendar per se to say we only have so many, times in our seasons left to actually then start enjoying and valuing your time?
I think it's just because people, I mean, especially we were both mothers, we raised kids, that took a lot of it. But I don't know, your important things seem to be take over every moment. And
Yeah.
then by the time you get, especially as you get older, you never know when you're going to be there to say the things that you wanted to. I mean, the conventions that I'm going to, am I teaching and doing things there? Yes, I am. I have a business reason to do it. But there's going to be a lot of times to rekindle the old friendships and hug the people that I haven't hugged in years. And so that's the important thing for me. Yeah, it's a class is important. that period of time is
Yep.
important as class. But other than that, it's all about the fellowship.
And that's the thing. I think it's just like, just like at your home, they say there's a place, there's a space and a place for everything. The same value should go with the place of the value of the time you're with that person and not being on your phone and seizing that moment while you have it. And there's Jerry. Happy day, ladies from Vermont this week. Aw, I hope it's beautiful over there and it's tolerable weather.
Snowing, or it was.
Oh, stay warm, Jerry. So good to see you here. But that's what I mean. It's like valuing that serenity of time you have with people in real life. It's so nice. Because even if you're doing something like this or you're texting somebody or something, you have other distractions. But it's be more, we should really value our time when we're together with people because of the way the last 3 years have been.
Well,
2 years.
like I say, you never know. You never know where you're gonna get. And I don't mean just because of death, but
Right.
whether you're gonna get to see them again. They may
Busy.
be busy, and it's just busy, busy.
Yeah.
But you see so many people that the main thing that they're involved in is their phones or
Yeah.
something that keeps them away from the human contact, which is especially these kids nowadays. I just want to yank the phones away.
Hi, Dalton. Debbie's son's watching. He's such an amazing guy. She raised some two awesome kids. So yeah, and like last summer I was so busy that I didn't even get to travel. So this year is going to be even more special because I missed last year and here's another year we get older and wiser. And
Yeah, you can't blame just that. I mean, COVID
yeah.
let you travel, okay?
Aw. Well, Bob, we appreciate you. You're a staple on our show, and we really appreciate you always being here for us. We really do. So yeah, I think just noticing and just stop and say, is this worth my time or am I enjoying my time? You should be enjoying your time every time, no matter what you're doing. And I always love to throw my crazy laughter in there too. So um
I,
Debbie says, Dalton said, he read a quote, youth teaches us action and age teaches us patience. And he he asked if it agrees maybe.
yeah,
I would say that's true, but then it's not true because at the internet's so fast now and it wasn't fast back in the day. And now when I do have to wait a minute for it to upload, I say, come on, I don't expect that. I don't go, well, I had to have patience before, and this is no, because we're constantly in the now. We're constantly right now, and we can't constantly refer to the past because you're missing living right now. So it's one of those balances you have to do, and the same thing balances with, spending time with family and friends. If you value your time, do something that you're going to remember and Debbie says here, I'm working on my patience too. Yeah.
uh,
Uh, they,
Jerry and I we went and saw Barry Manilow a couple of weeks ago, and the
how
guy
was that?
was phenomenal. But
Oh,
there was a guy sitting behind us, and the comedian before he came on, he was bad. I mean, it was bad. And the guy behind me made one of those memorable statements. He said, "Well, that's 20 minutes I'll never get back." So I have thought about that a lot of times when things
yeah,
get on, but it was just the way he said it. It was so sincere. That's 20 minutes we won't get back.
yeah. And there is a lot of things, and when we value our time, we realize we wasted a lot of our time. Robert says, my woodworking has taught me patience. Oh, I'm sure. And then Debbie says, Cheryl and Jerry go and do fun stuff. Love it.
Hey, Bob, I'm glad it worked for you. I hung wallpaper for 22 years, which takes patience. I still don't have it. Okay. Now I could do my work with it, but I was still working with a high D personality. I still had to get it done quick, but it had to be done right. And people knowing me, from the real person. It was like, how do you do that? I don't know. I think I enjoyed it that much, but patience is still not one of my virtues.
Yeah. Well, and valuing time, people don't realize that, especially being self-employed and solopreneur and that kind of thing, you realize that you try to handle and you juggle a lot of things, but you really got to look at the fact, and I know, I think it's going up on 2 years that you've learned that there's so many little micromanage things that you got your personal assistant there that look at it, how much time you got back, time freedom you got back from the little things, so obviously you're learning how to value your time more that way, so that it frees you to do other stuff. And what what did Debbie say here? Oh Lordy, Robert, that would definitely take patience.
Yeah, I mean, the hard thing for me in the beginning, and it's still not real easy, is the art of delegation.
Right.
And so that took a little bit of getting used to, not getting better at it, a whole lot better. But used to, if it was going to get done, I had to do it.
Right.
I found
Well,
that out.
I'm just laughing because it's like I'll never forget any time I hired a housekeeper. Oh shit, I can do the laundry. I can do this. Oh, I got to clean this before she gets here. And so, like you said, you try to find what things you don't like to do or that are time consuming, so that leaves you free up to do the things you got to do. But it comes down to valuing your time and what's it worth. I mean, like somebody that a little while ago had a printer situation, you know, she just trying to figure out the printer, and she finally realized, I got to go get me a printer, but it's the time spent. Like you said, you'll never get back.
If we had a record of all that time in our past, I could say it's amazing how many years that
Yeah,
was, as opposed to 20 minutes that we couldn't get back.
right.
But that's life, though. And sometimes it's a downtime. The people don't realize that, and downtime is different. Downtime is when you intentionally do something. You intentionally calm down and take some time. It's the stuff you have no control over.
Right, right. Yeah, and I mean, it's just prioritizing something, but that's definitely one thing we can never get back is time. You can make up money, you can make up this and that, and you can get something that you lost and you can get it back, but you can never get back the time. That's fleeing and gone just as fast. And so if there's anything that we're saying here is just, figure out your time. And I love the fact that I hear at the end of the week that people say, I went back and listened to your podcast, and it's 15, 20 minutes. And you just have it in the background. I mean, I have a few people that watch different podcasts of mine, and they're like, Lynn, I just have you in the background, and it's an honor and it's great, but it's also like you say, you put in what you can, and we're lighthearted, edutainment here, so we love what we do, and we appreciate everybody that does listen.
Well, other than my eyes rolling back in my head and a lot of other things we do on here, our voice is what's there. We don't hold up signs. We don't have a PowerPoint going on in the background. We don't have all the stuff somebody has to see. So it's usually just how much we open our mouth and talk.
Or my laugh, I guess. Oh my gosh, call me the laughing bag, I guess.
Hey,
But
I've got Alexa reading me a Kindle book, okay? Because I don't literally have the time. Well, I do. I can make the time, but I can I can multitask, and it's a book that I wanted to read. I have the book, so I can go
mhm.
back and read it if I want to. But I'm having her read it now, and I'm grasping enough of it. I'll know what to look for in the book.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. That's what's nice about Audibles or a YouTube channel or a podcast. You can have it in the background. You can listen to it a couple times. You finally will put things together. And then what's funny is you listen to something enough, you're like, wait, that clicks. And then you actually listen with the intent of listening, and you retain and understand better. So I mean, it's nothing lost in that. I don't know how well I trust that when you're going to sleep and you're listening to an audible, how much you really listen. I'm like, shit. It's just like if I fall asleep with the timer on my TV, it's like I have to rewind because I don't remember none of this stuff because I must have slept 20 minutes before it went off.
I like quiet, to sleep.
Yeah.
A lot of people but Jerry likes the TV on. That's fine. I've got where I can go to sleep with it. Just don't let me wake up at 12 o'clock with it on, because then I sleep the hardest before midnight, and then I'm in a light sleep after that. So, and that light sleep, if I might as well stay up and watch TV. If
Yeah.
I see it at 12, I might as well stay up and see it.
Heck, at your house, what I did, I didn't need no TV on. I went swimming, hot tub. By the time I was done the hot tub, I was ready for bed.
Well,
So,
there,
yeah.
it's just what everybody's got their own, I'm going to say quirky things. We've got
Yeah.
things that we do for certain situations. Um, the main thing is just if you're doing something that is of no value, like listening to a crappy comedian, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, what else could I have done? I've probably been really rude to started reading while he was doing it.
Well, and to think the people are probably getting in their seats and, getting ready for the show anyways, that, he probably didn't even realize he stunk because everybody was moving and doing their thing and ignoring him anyhow. So, here nor there. What it would have upset some people if he was really good and they missed the jokes because they were running in late. So you never know. You never know.
That's why you put bad in front. You look better on the back.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I always suggest people to just go ahead and think different. Challenge yourself to do things a little different, but just notice what you do and see, does that bring you. And when we talk about value too, we talk about values like, did it bring joy to you? Did it make you trigger a memory? Did it do something to make you rekindle something that you've longed to do again that you haven't done in a long time? So I mean, the value comes in so many different ways, shapes, and forms. But look for the value and see, was that well spent?
I mean, it could have meant nothing to anyone else.
Right.
All it had to have a meaning for was yourself.
Right. Right. Well, any further closing statements before we leave?
No, I guess I'm pretty close. So that way I won't waste anybody else's time. They'll get a minute back anyway. Yeah, everybody, take time to do things that you enjoy, and enjoy the things that you take time to do.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best advice. I concur with that. So as always, Sheryl, I love you and I love you for your time. And thank you for being here with me.
Same here. Love you and have a great day.
Thank you. Have a great day. All right, you guys, we are out of here once I find my music.
You're like a circle that floats around me.